All right, so I have state's motion in limine. The one that I have has a file mark of September 9th of 2024. Mr. Matuska, have you had an opportunity to go through that motion?
I have, Your Honor.
And are there any that you have any objection to me granting?
Yes, Your Honor, a few. The first one, I was a little confused because oftentimes we object to limine and ask to approach. I didn't know how Mr. Coleman wanted to proceed on any objections that had to do with motion in limine.
I mean, if there's an objection to something that's covered in either of the motion in limines, just you can say that there's an objection, ask to approach, and we can talk about it up here. So I'll grant number one, number two.
Number three is fine.
Okay.
Number four, I do have an objection there. I've been provided with a state's second amended notice from November 18th, 24 regarding extraneous offenses. I've received 7 prior offenses.
Are you talking about for the defendant?
Yes.
So number three has to do with state's witnesses.
I think you said 4, Judge.
I mean, four says four, any mention of any arrest, et cetera, of any state's witness.
Yes, I was getting to that.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
But the last one here on 8 is what I was referring to, is the bar fight. We have a bar fight that occurred at approximately 1:30 in the morning. Police were not called. We have video. Then later about, I'm going to estimate 2:04, I believe. Is that about right?
Yes, sir.
Then a 911 call came in that shots were fired in the parking lot. Police then responded. When the police responded, that's then when we came upon this case about 2:22 to divide it
yes,
into those sections. And I believe the actual first call was 2:09. So it's 3 sections. This deals with the first section. What happened in the bar, the video.
I don't know what you mean this.
Oh, this 8.
8.
On, I'm sorry, the extraneous.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
bar
looking
fight
at the motion in
evidence.
limine. Hold on.
This is the notice of the extraneous.
Okay, hold on. Well, there we go. The second amended.
Yes, Your Honor. It does say the defendant's assault too.
It says what?
The defendant's assault, but I wanted to clarify my objection.
Yeah. Okay, so gotcha. Okay.
So I anticipate an accomplice witness, co-defendant, who was actually involved with that. The video shows him standing right in the middle of it. And my objection would be to not only that witness, but later on I have an objection to actually the video coming in, just entirely the video. I understand if it's relevant to bringing up that it happened, but I think the actual video is under 403 extremely prejudicial and misleading to the jury, both in state's witness and.
You've gotten off of number 4. Let's take one thing at a time.
Just to start with that, I anticipate the accomplice to testify about that.
Okay, and so the other act or bad act would be the fight that happened previous to that, to
Correct.
The calling of the police.
Correct.
And the shots fired.
In particular, my inability to impeach him on the video, if he testified differently than the video.
No, I don't think there would be, I would tend to think that it would be relevant, everything that led up to that evening. Would you agree, Mr. Coleman?
My argument would be it goes toward both intent, motive, and identification.
Well, you're asking that it all be kept out in your, okay, we're talking about the state's motion in limine. Number 4 says you don't want any state's
Judge, in this case, I would make an exception. I think Mr. Matuska would be certainly within his right
Okay.
to go into that subject matter with the co-defendant. So as it
I mean,
relates to
anybody
the-
that was there,
Yes.
Yeah, if
Any-
it comes in.
if we're going to consider the fight as an other bad act, then anything, in my opinion, about that is probably relevant. Do you both agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Then number 4,
And I have one more on that.
on 4?
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor. I same witness, the accomplice witness.
okay,
I have, it looks like a DWI that the accomplice pled guilty to and was put on probation 2 weeks prior to this event. I would like to question him regarding his violation of probation of even being in this establishment.
okay.
It does not, it's not necessarily goes toward his truthfulness, Judge, or his veracity. I don't know how a DWI violation of probation would be an impeachable subject matter.
And Your Honor, regarding the DWI, I'm going more towards the conditions of probation being moral turpitude issues, not necessarily the actual conviction of a DWI.
I think based on that, I would allow you to go into, I don't think it's something that needs to be delved into deeply, because it's not necessarily, obviously the facts of that don't have anything to do with the facts of this, but for his character, veracity, things like that, I think that would probably be relevant. And so I would make an exception. What I'll do on here is make an exception and grant it with the exception of. And so it's granted, and I'm writing with exception. And what is the accomplice, what's his name?
Raymond Adami, A-D-A-M.
Raymond Adami.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, and Mr. Adami is the one also that would be testifying as to the fight, or are there other witnesses on that too?
I properly represent to the court that I have a custodian of record from the Sadie's Bar and Grill in Port Arthur who will authenticate a video that shows the entire altercation between the defendant and another individual in the bar that preceded the shots fired in the parking lot that led to the 911 call.
Right.
Led to the officers.
Okay, so, but as far as actual testifying, I mean, they'll testify to the video, foundation of the video, but any other witnesses other than Mr. Adami that would have actual testimony with regard to the fight itself? I just want to make sure my exception to this rule, if there is anyone and it comes up, I'm going to allow testimony with regard to the fight. If there are other witnesses that saw whatever, heard whatever, then, so the exception is going to be with accomplice Raymond Adami's DUI probation and any testimony regarding the bar fight, okay?
And Your Honor, on that, I know that we talked earlier about number 8 in the extraneous notice. Roberto Hughes is the other combatant involved in this fight.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to be testifying, but I did just want to bring to the court's attention that we may have an expert, or not an expert, a witness testifying, not him, possibly him, but another witness who may have knowledge of the fight and that may be relevant, and I would like to possibly go into the entirety of the video that I've been provided, at least if it's going to come in.
I don't anticipate calling Roberto Hughes, Judge.
So the exception I've made to to this number 4 in the state's motion in limine is to any testimony regarding the bar fight. Okay, so it doesn't matter to me who it is. If someone comes in and testifies, obviously if they have personal knowledge and were there and things like that. If there's any other objections as to when it's coming in or who it is, just raise that objection and we'll take care of it at that time. Okay? Number 5. You don't have an issue with number 5, do you?
No.
Number 6, obviously I'll grant number 6. Number 7, Or let's go, or can you tell me which ones you, what others are issue with, and we can?
Yes, Your Honor. In regards to 7, again, we're wanting to accomplish plea bargains extended by the state.
I represent to Mr. Matuska in the court, there's been no offer or consideration given in exchange for the co-defendant's testimony.
I think it's fair to ask if there's been anything, but if there's not, there's not. So I guess I'll deny that because I will allow you to ask that question, and then he can answer. All right, number 8.
No, Your Honor.
All right, number 9.
Just in punishment, Your Honor, possibly.
So right now, I'm just going to say that it's granted. If we get there in punishment, obviously that would be different. 10.
Same thing, accomplice.
And he hasn't been sentenced. He hasn't pled or anything like that.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll grant that one. 11, I'm going to grant. It's really the same as 7. So actually, I guess oh, no. 11 has to do with just other defendants in general, I think. And so that's obviously a punishment issue. I probably would have an issue with that anyway. So at this time, I'm going to grant it. If at time you feel like that would become appropriate, Mr. Matuska, we can talk about it at that point. 12,
No, Your Honor.
13.
I don't anticipate any,
Okay,
but if somebody surprises me.
I'll grant it. Obviously, if there's something on any of these that are granted, if there's an issue and you feel like at that point it would be admissible, just approach it. I'll take care of it outside the presence of the jury. Obviously, we've already talked about the invocation of the rule. I think both of you would like it invoked, and so there's not going to be any issue with talking about that. There's no issue with 15, is there?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. 16,
I don't anticipate any.
okay, 17. Was there something that was,
Not that I'm aware of, Judge.
okay, anything, no other charge that was discussed that you know of or changed?
Well, again, the bar fight, I don't have a charge for that. I think it probably is gonna come up, that it wasn't charged. I don't wanna relitigate that whole thing, but
No, I mean, the bar fight, we're gonna, I think it's relevant to an extent, but I also think that with any witness and with either of you, it's just gonna be kind of the preface and not, doesn't need to turn into what the trial's all about, obviously. So
that's my concern.
I'll grant that, and then if there's an issue, just let me know at the time. Again, 18,
No, Your Honor.
19, oh, and that's it. Let's see, section 2. Okay, that's fine. That's the state's. Now, defendant's motion in limine.
Just a couple of it. I want to visit Judge, and that would be 15, 16,
Okay, 15, statement of any
and
co-defendant.
17, 15, 16, 17.
Okay,
Judge, I certainly plan on calling the co-defendant. He has indicated a willingness to cooperate. In fact, I put his name on the witness list that I provided to Mr. Matuska some time ago. So I don't know how that impacts number 15.
15's talking about a non-testifying co-defendant, it looks like, so I don't think that would affect it. Obviously, I'm going to allow the co-defendant to
I
testify.
expect him to testify.
Okay, so that'll be granted, mainly because it looks like it's talking about non-testifying co-defendant.
I can cross-examine him.
Right. Gang membership,
The co-defendant during a custodial interview that was recorded mentioned that the defendant is a member of the Mongol gang. Now, any other reference to that in videos that I plan on playing, I've redacted. However, I didn't redact it in the co-defendant's recorded interview. So to make Mr. Matuska aware of that, for whatever reason, maybe for impeachment purposes, if he plays the co-defendant's recorded interview, he should know or be aware that there's a reference in there that's not redacted, referring to the defendant being a member of the Mongol gang.
but you don't intend on offering that. And so if for some reason you did, and that became an issue at that time, and there was an objection, you wanted to,
I have a timestamp.
if you wanted to object to that, if you found a reason to introduce it. Since he's here, I don't know what that would, I mean, I think it would be hearsay since he's here to testify. But if there was some exception, or if you needed to impeach him with parts of it, and that became an issue, we could, I think if it's redacted out of everything else and it's not really a part of anything and that's gonna come in, I would tend to agree that it probably needs to be redacted, but we'll deal with that if it,
Yeah, if he denies any of it, then whatever Tommy wants to do, I just, that one time.
if he denies, so now with these, if he denies one statement or 10 statements, it doesn't mean the whole thing comes in. It means that we're going to have to, when we did this some time ago, where we do get the jury out, show him or find those specific statements, timestamp them, show them. If he then says he remember, you can then question him again about it, but it's not going to mean the whole thing comes in. So if there's some reason at one point you anticipate requesting that the whole thing come in, we'll take up the gang thing at that point.
Okay, and I want to make sure I'm not foreclosing state from being able to use that gang membership and punishment if we get there.
Yeah, we'll talk about
there.
right now. We're talking about
This is guilt innocence.
all of this is guilt innocence on both of you. The motion in limines is what I'm making my rulings on. At punishment, obviously, a whole lot of different things become fair game that aren't. So I'm going to grant 16 for guilt innocence. Okay.
Number 17 is confusing to me, Judge.
Deet.
Details of prior convictions offered for impeachment, even if a prior conviction is admissible to impeach a witness, details of the conviction are inadmissible. I don't understand.
Your Honor, again, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds about each of these. I understand the state offering evidence of a prior conviction that the court feels like is relevant to that question. But if we're going to get into the nitty gritty here, I'm going to argue about that to some extent.
So the underlying facts of the conviction you're saying are inadmissible.
To some extent. I know Mr. Coleman has to get into some of that.
Right.
But I don't want to get too deep into it, and I'm asking that those should be limited to some degree at the court's discretion.
I think for impeachment of who? Anyone?
To what I have been provided and I know, that's limited. And Mr. Coleman may have a lot more information than I do in records that I'm not privileged.
Are we talking about prior convictions offered for anyone other than the defendant? Are there any witnesses that you anticipate prior convictions becoming an issue? Other than the DUI on the co-defendant?
No, Judge.
Possibly, but I don't know who's called yet.
Okay.
But I will approach if I think that's an issue.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is,
That goes more to what I am allowed to obtain and respond to, because I only have a surface of what he's given me.
Judge, I represent to the court. I'm not going to drill down on any of those prior convictions, other than maybe to the extent of what was charged in the charging instrument, like for instance, the indictment
in punishment.
in punishment.
So we're not talking about punishment. In the guilt innocence, are there any anticipated? Now, if the defendant testifies during the guilt innocence phase, then I think everything is probably, not everything, but most things are fair game, including probably some details of the convictions. So I'm actually going to deny that one.
And he would know that stuff, but I would know some other witnesses' information.
If there's, if it comes up that a witness is on stand and a prior conviction comes up and you feel like it's going too far or you want to go further or something about that, just either object or ask to approach, and we'll figure that out at the time. So anything with 18 then?
No.
Okay, so I have granted all except for 17 in defendant's motion in limine. As always, if there is anything that you have any question about, confusion about, that comes up that I've granted that you think then becomes relevant and or admissible, just approach and we'll take care of it at that time, okay?
For the court's information, I made the redactions that were requested by Mr. Matuska yesterday.
Okay.
And I did mention the offense, the recently discovered offense of assault on a pregnant person, that we've at least orally added to our notice of extraneous offenses. Today, in fact, about 20 minutes ago, I was handed by my investigator some report information, charging information regarding that offense. I'll make a oral motion that we will be adding to our witness list and Angelica Brasher, as I understand, is the spouse of the defendant, again, for punishment purposes, but I want the record to reflect it. As soon as I received this information, I made it available to Mr.
Okay.
Matuska.
We'll deal with that at punishment if there's any objections at that point, or,
There is one other thing. I know it's a punishment issue, but it's a logistical issue, Judge. We've served her with a subpoena, but she's 9 months pregnant. She's got a high-risk pregnancy. Her doctor has advised her against traveling, Judge. I'd like to make a motion that she testify by video, Judge.
we obviously have the capability here of Zoom, and everybody can see everyone and hear everyone very clearly, but I think that is, Mr. Matuska, what's your position?
I'm not in agreement.
Okay, and I believe that the law is pretty clear that if the defense does not agree, that the witness wouldn't have to be here in person. So just kind of plan on that, and we'll figure it
I
out.
understand it. One other final point, Judge, and I'll move on. I may want to visit that maybe after today's testimony, first thing tomorrow morning, about the quote-unquote unavailability of the witness and the ability to offer for alternatives in the event that a witness is unavailable.
Your Honor,
Okay.
I'll be open to that and discuss that more with Ms. Clark.
Okay, yeah, let's see where we get, and there are probably some rules that might apply with someone being unavailable for medical reasons, and I'll take a look at all of that so that we're kind of prepared as well.
And just so the court knows, and if I can get some instruction, I do plan on objecting to the actual video of the bar fight. I didn't know if you wanted me to take that up now or just wait until it's presented.
When do you anticipate?
It's actually my first witness, so we're good to go on that?
Yes.
All right.
All right, so what is the objection to, since,
The objection is that under 403, not only is it highly prejudicial because of the contents of the video, and again, I'm objecting to the video, not necessarily to the discussion of what happened or the testimony of what people saw.
why didn't I have this video in my office this morning to watch if there was going to be an
For the
objection?
court's information, I mean, like we talked about at the pretrial, or yesterday, or whatever it was, when we picked the jury, I've given Mr. Matuska the weekend before my listed redactions for all of the videos in this case.
Right. Yesterday when I said, if there's going to be an objection to something that I'm going to need to watch, I could have done that. I had 2 hours after my docket. I could have gotten here this morning. That was when we left yesterday. So I have to watch it.
Yes.
Or at least, how long is it? At least I have to speed through it even. I mean,
It's like 30 seconds.
Well, the bar fight episode is 30 seconds. Just, here's the state's argument in a nutshell. Judge, it is probative. The probative value outweighs the prejudicial value in that it goes directly towards the defendant's intent, motive, and identity. Whether or not this was the individual who fired the shots when he left the bar and made the U-turn and fired the shots when the officers were in the parking lot. My argument would be, the state's argument would be, he was just that angry, just that worked up, and
Okay.
fired the shots at the officers.
So,
I understand that. I just feel like the jury is going to want to make a decision, make a verdict based upon more than just the indictment.
so if it's, how long is, what portion of that video do you anticipate? How long is what you want to introduce?
Well, I mean, the actual fight doesn't last for very long.
Okay, and your only objection is to the fight part of the video?
Correct, Your
Is there
Honor.
anything else that's relevant on the video, or is it just
There are
stuff?
different camera angles from the bar, inside and outside the bar. I plan on playing different angles. Defendant leaving the bar, the shots from outside of the bar, where you can see them coming from.
Okay, so really the fight's the issue.
I understand
Let
all
me
that.
see the fight real quick, please.
Yeah, you can kind of ride her over what is what.
Let the jury know it'll be about 10 more minutes, that something came up that we're handling legal matter, but it should only be about 10 minutes.
And Judge, this just reminded me, there is another video as well, we probably should address, and that's the video of the defendant being transported. I think it's relevant as well, but that's another issue.
Is there an objection to the video of the defendant being transported?
It'd be a video of Bray, Officer
Right, yes, Your Honor. My objection to that would be, it is initiated when the defendant is in custody, he's handcuffed, he's in the back of Officer Bray's car. Officer Bray approaches him, begins to question him about his wallet, and I believe some basic information, but it kind of all escalates as to those questioning at that point.
It is not it's not an interrogation or questioning.
Again, that means I have to watch it, which I should have done earlier today.
In fact, these statements are volunteered by the defendant. For instance, statements like.
Then
"Yes, the
how long
police,"
is that video?
That video's pretty substantial. He's being driven.
When
to
is
the jail.
when is that? How long is that video?
Oh, I can get you times.
Okay, and when is that officer anticipated to testify?
Not today.
Okay, then I will watch that at the end of today. If you'll make sure I have a copy of Officer Bray's, it's the car or his,
It's his car.
Car.
And again, the defendant's in the back of the patrol car. He's making unsolicited statements.
I'll watch that one at the end of today. For the record, Mr. Coleman has handed me his laptop and I have the video pulled up from the inside of the bar. I'm gonna play that just to take a look at it. So is it gonna switch, like he's gone out of that inside of the bar, is it gonna switch to the other angles or is that another, this is just the rest of what's going on
That's gonna be
inside?
the rest of what's going on.
Does he come
inside
back
the car.
in after he leaves that door?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and then this is the only part that you have an objection to. I'm going to overrule that objection, and find, that the probative value outweighs any prejudicial value based on the fact that this entire, case is, prefaced by, I think, sounds like at least what has been proffered by both of you guys to me by the fight that happened inside the bar. So I think that that is important for the jury for the purposes of intent, motive, and identity. Obviously, there will be an appropriate instruction in the charge, Mr. Matuska, with regard to any other bad acts, and that they were admissible only for the purposes that Mr. Coleman has alluded, which again was intent, motive, and identity. All right. So then I'll take a look at the other video, Officer Bray's video, after we are done today. Anything else that you guys can think of, Mr. Matuska, if you anticipate any other objection to any other video please be thinking about that on the break, during today, whatever, whenever, so that at the end of today, I can get from the state any videos that I need to watch and have that done so we don't run into this issue again.
Your Honor, I've been provided Officer Fair, Officer Carr, and Officer Benica timestamps. Have gone through them, and there's no issues with there.
So just Braze. Okay, all right then. So do you have any witnesses? Let's get any witnesses that are here right now, please get them in the courtroom. And Mr. Matuska, if you anticipate some that aren't here, both of you just make sure that you guys explain to them what the rule is and that they are all placed under the rule so that we don't have any issues with anybody testifying later. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Excuse me. Well, they're there, so, but I took some stuff and got 2 shots, so hopefully. I'm getting hot, and that makes it tickle where it gets you. Y'all can come on up. Okay. Good afternoon. Hi. We've got one more coming in. If y'all just wait just a second, y'all are good right there. The newer chair's bigger too, so that all of y'all's.
Really?
Yeah, it's not super comfortable, but it is at least big enough for all of your gear to fit. Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Would you all please raise your right hand? Do you all swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give in this trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And so you can put your hand down. You're all placed under the rule, and what that means is that you are not allowed to be in the courtroom during anyone else's testimony. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony with each other or anyone other than the lawyers or investigators in the case. And you're also instructed not to watch any of the proceedings on YouTube. All right? Thank y'all. Y'all can step out. And Mr. Coleman and Mr. Matuska, how long would either of you request for opening?
5 or 7.
Okay, that's fine. You good with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, let's see if they're all gathered and we can get the jury in. I did write on their motions in limine and signed it. Thanks. All good? Okay. Hey, oops. Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in a reserve.
Okay, thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. I told you you'd have to be patient with my times. You just didn't know we were going to start out that way. Thank you for being here and being patient. I'm calling now the State of Texas versus Michael Keith Brasher Jr., cause number 23, DCCR 0944. I'm going to ask you all, you can remain seated, but I'm going to give you the oath of the jury. If you'll please raise your right hand. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that in the case of the state of Texas versus the defendant, you will true verdict render according to the law and the evidence? Thank you. All right, is the state ready to proceed?
State's ready, Judge.
And is the defense ready?
Through Your Honor.
All right, at this time, Mr. Coleman, you may present the indictment. Mr. Brasher, if you'll please stand for this.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, the grand jurors for the county of Jefferson, state aforesaid, duly organized as such at the July term AD 2023 of the 252nd District Court of Jefferson County in said county and state, upon oath in said court present that Michael Keith Brasher Jr. hereafter style the defendant on or about on this, the 31st day of May 2023, and interior to the presentment of this indictment in the county of Jefferson and state of Texas, did then and there intentionally and knowingly threaten Christopher Garnica, hereafter style the complainant, with imminent bodily injury by shooting a firearm at Christopher Garnica, and used or exhibited a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, during the commission of the assault. And the defendant knew that the complainant was a public servant, namely a Port Arthur police officer, and that the complainant was lawfully discharging an official duty, namely investigating a shooting against the peace and dignity of the state.
And how does the defendant plead? All right, thank you. You can have a seat. And Mr. Coleman, does the state wish to make an opening statement?
Yes, briefly, Your Honor. Thank you. May it please the court, Mr. Matuska, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The evidence in this case will show that back on May the 31st, 2023, at around 2 a.m., there was a fight. There was an altercation between the defendant, Michael Brasher, and another individual inside of the Sadie's Bar and Grill located off of Gulfway in Port Arthur, Texas. This altercation, when it was done, left this defendant clearly enraged and angered, and he would leave with another associate of his, get into a vehicle driven by that associate, and as they leave the bar, shots will be fired from that vehicle. I submit to you that the evidence will show those shots were fired by this angry defendant in the direction of that bar. The police would be called out. Port Arthur Police Department would respond. Officers Kate Carr and Christopher Garnica would show up shortly thereafter. And while they're in the parking lot, trying to ascertain what had just happened, that same vehicle would make a U-turn and come back in the opposite direction and fire additional shots into the parking lot next to where those officers were located. These officers would immediately give chase to this vehicle, and they will stop the vehicle. But before stopping the vehicle, the patrol car video from inside of that officer's vehicle would capture a handgun, firearm, being thrown out of the passenger side window, the same side of the vehicle that this defendant was sitting on. They made contact with the individuals in the vehicle, identified the defendant, Michael Brasher, as the passenger, identified the driver as Raymond Adame, and the two would be arrested. Shell casings would be found during the course of the investigation in the area, on the roadway, in the area where those shots were fired from, and video surveillance camera, albeit not the best video surveillance, would show that there were muzzle flashes coming from that same area. Those shell casings would match the caliber of the firearm that was thrown from the vehicle out on the passenger side where this defendant was riding in that vehicle. And also, I believe testimony will show that DNA evidence, when that firearm was tested, swabbed for DNA, sent off to a lab, it came back with a positive DNA hit for this defendant, linking him to the firearm that was thrown out of the vehicle from which the shots were fired in the direction of Officer Carr and Officer pardon me. You will see the video from inside of Sadie's, and the things that led up, into the altercation. You will see the video from outside of the Sadie's Bar and Grill. You will hear directly from Officer Raquel, directly from Officer a car. You will hear from the officer that found the shell casings, so you will get the opportunity to hear testimony about the DNA. At the end, I anticipate you'll also hear from the co-defendant. Co-defendant will come in and tell you what happened that night. What happened was this defendant was angry. This defendant fired shots in the direction of those officers, constituting an aggravated assault. Those officers, you hear testimony, they were in a marked patrol unit. They were in their uniform, and there's no mistaking that they were officers. This defendant, I believe, is guilty. I believe the evidence will show that he's guilty of aggravated assault on a peace officer. And based on that evidence, I'll ask you to transfer it to the evidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Mr. Matuska, do you wish to make an opening statement or reserve your right?
Reserve your honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Matuska. Mr. Coleman, you may call your first witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the state of Texas calls Keely Campbell.
Keely Campbell. And Ms. Campbell, if you'll just pull that microphone and speak loudly and clearly so everyone can hear you. Also, that's perfect, thank you. And if it's a yes or a no question, be sure to say yes or no and not just a head nod or an uh-huh, so the court reporter can take everything down. And Ms. Campbell was previously sworn. Mr. Coleman, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Campbell. Would you please state your full name for the court reporter and spell it, please?
Keely Campbell, Keelycampbell.
All right, Ms. Campbell, where do you reside? I don't need the address, but just the city and state.
Gross.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a bartender.
Are you still bartending at the Sadie's Bar and Grill?
Yes.
Were you bartending there at Sadie's back on May the 31st of 2023?
I worked there then, yes, I was not there.
Okay, you worked there.
Yes.
All right. Now, at Sadie's Bar and Grill, is it located at 6610 Gulfway in Port Arthur, Texas?
Yes.
And that's in Jefferson County, Texas, right?
Yes.
And as an employee of Sadie's Bar and Grill, are you familiar with the surveillance system that they have there?
Yes.
And surveillance cameras, what do they, or did they at the time capture multiple angles in both inside and outside of Sadie's?
Yes.
And as your, in your capacity as an employee, were you familiar with whether or not those cameras were capable of making accurate recordings of those different angles?
Yes.
Do you have any reason to believe that on May 31st of 2023, those cameras were not properly functioning?
No.
And now, Coach, the witness judge.
You may.
Ms. Campbell, you've reviewed several recordings from the camera system of Sadie's that those early morning hours. I think what I want to do for record purposes is refer to them by the last four digits that we've marked on these USB drives. So let's see, start.
Are they individually marked?
I'm going to individually mark.
Oh, okay.
But they also have unique numbers
Okay,
written on them
perfect.
as well. Okay, I think I've got it straight now. All right, so let's do this. First of all, let me mark them. What I'm struggling with is they've got post-it notes on them, and before I pull the post-it note off to mark them, because there's limited space on these, I want to ask you if you recognize these initials here.
Yes.
And do you recognize, and what date is next to those initials?
Yes.
Today's date, right?
Mhm.
Indicating that you viewed this today, correct?
Yes.
And it's the same for these other three USB drives, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to pull out your post-it notes and put my evidence sticker on it. I'm marking as State's Exhibit 1, the USB drive with the identifying number ending, well, it says camera 4, and it's ending in 4417. And State's Exhibit number 2, same initials for today's date?
Yes,
All right. Your initials, indicating you watched it today, right?
yes.
I'm marking it as State's Exhibit number 2 as well. And for record purposes, it says replay ending in 8247. State's Exhibit number 3, I'll remove the post-it note with your initials in today's date and put my evidence marker on there. For State's Exhibit number 3, it says camera 9 ending in 1917. And lastly, I will add, remove your post-it note with your initials in today's date and add State's Exhibit number 4, the sticker of State's Exhibit number 4, to the USB drive that says camera 2 with the identifying number ending in 1916. With regard to State's Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4, do you have any reason to believe that they have been, that the video captured on those, on these USB drives has been altered or manipulated in any way?
No,
Judge, at this time, State offers States 1 through 4. They have been previously provided to defense counsel through discovery. I'm tendering to him for his inspection.
Your Honor, I would object to maybe some more details of the date, the time, some more details that correspond with my notes I did in your testimony regarding the foundation of the actual date and times of some of these and what they corresponded to. I'm trying to keep up, but it's not quite matching up. So I would object to the foundation on that.
If you, I guess just ask a few more questions about, you're talking about the date of the incidents that are on the recordings, Mr. Matuska?
Correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Coleman?
Ms. Campbell, do you have any reason to, well, you watched these videos. Do you recognize the interior of Sadie's from looking at the video?
yes,
Do you recognize the parking lot from looking
yes,
at the videos? Do you have any reason to doubt that these video recordings were made on May the 31st of 2023?
no,
No objection, Your Honor.
States 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all admitted, and they're also admitted over any previous objection as well that we talked about.
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Campbell, I am publishing State's Exhibit number 1. Is it fair to say this is the inside of Sadie's Bar and Grill?
yes.
Okay. And I'd ask you to focus on this individual here that I am circling with the cursor. What does it look like just happened there?
Your Honor, I object to that. This witness testified she was not present. She doesn't have any personal knowledge about this.
He's asking what's reflected on the video.
I'm going to sustain that objection.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Judge, I think that's about all I want to play of State's Exhibit number 1 for the record. I'll play just about through about a minute and 33 seconds of that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Coleman.
For the record, I'm publishing State's Exhibit number 2. Ms. Campbell, do you recognize the scene? What scene are we looking at out there? Is that the parking lot of Sadie's?
Directly out the front door.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to focus right in this area here for a second.
Again, objection, Your Honor. This witness is thought testifying regarding the accuracy of the cameras in the recording, not as to any personal knowledge or interpretation of what's going on in these videos.
We're just going to ask her what she sees.
I think it's clear just play it for the jury and allow her to testify to obviously the views, where it is, things like that. But the jury can see it for themselves. Thank you. That's sustained.
All right, well, what I'd like to do is run it back just a little. For the record, we're about it. Oh, I go back far. For the record, it'll be about 17 seconds into the video, and I'll put the cursor where I'd like to direct the jury's attention.
Thank you.
As they back up, speaking of the scene, what object is this here in the parking lot?
That's the bar sign.
Is that bar sign illuminated?
Yes,
Does it cast light into that parking lot?
yes.
record, I am publishing State's Exhibit number 4.
Which one, I'm sorry?
Number 4, Judge. I'm
Thank you.
Ms. Campbell, there's a date and a timestamp up in the corner, if you can see that. What date's reflected there on the timestamp?
May 31st, 2023,
And the time?
1:50 a.m.
Again, it's a shot of the parking lot? Yes?
Yes.
Would you like to fast forward to the next relevant portion?
Yes, sir, thank you.
For the record, I'll fast forward it now to about 28 minutes and 40 seconds into the video. Now, Ms. Campbell, you've also reviewed another USB drive that's marked compilation video, correct?
Yes.
How would you characterize that video, the compilation video? What is it?
It's just not hour-long clips, short to just
So it's clips from each of these compiled together.
Your Honor, approach.
Sure. If y'all come on this side, please.
My understanding of these videos were just straight surveillance videos taken from the bar.
I'm sorry?
I thought these were going to be straight surveillance videos taken from the bar. This sounds like this is a compilation that law enforcement conducted and did. It sounds more like a demonstrative piece of evidence. That I didn't know this was included in here. I thought these were just straight based on what you testified to earlier.
It was provided in discovery, in fact.
Did she do the compilation or did law enforcement?
It's what we admitted and published.
It's just shortened versions of what's already in.
Now, I will say, arrows on there point to certain things that law enforcement added to it.
I would think if it's going to be admissible, it would be admissible through the person who created it, or at least law enforcement if they then added any demonstrative arrows and things like that, but probably not through. I mean, she can identify, testify that it's the same and she reviewed it, but I think as far as admissibility, potentially.
I would like to retract my prior non-objection. I did not think that was part of this because of the way she testified earlier, that she took the surveillance videos from the bar as a custodian. This is not something that's part of that. So I would like to retract that non-objection and object to this. I believe this is a narrative, demonstrative piece of evidence that the state compiled.
Okay. I guess, I don't know when you didn't object to it.
Well, you said with prior objections, but
Oh, that would have to do with the other, with the bar fight.
objection
Yeah,
to the straight surveillance videos that she took.
right. This is a different one.
Correct.
So this would be states 5. And so you're objecting to state's 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And to clarify, my objections were to the video she took off of the bar surveillance from all cameras. Just her.
Evidence, but I will say they did add like arrows and circles and that kind of thing to it. They added that, law enforcement did.
Well, I would think then, why don't we, I mean, if it's for a demonstrative purpose, and it's the same thing that's already in,
Or arrows and circles and
Words.
I think there may be words too.
okay,
Suspects need.
okay, so then at least with this witness, I'm gonna sustain the objection. And then depending on who did all of that, we'll have to revisit that and potentially allow them to make those demonstrations here in court with, have those taken off. Maybe y'all wanna be working on that.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Mr. Matuska?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Coleman, how are you? Campbell. Sorry, Judge.
That's all right, it didn't hurt my ear, just everyone's that was listening to it.
Yeah.
Everybody's sitting by their computers when they're supposed to be working just jumped. You may proceed.
Ms. Campbell, I just have a few questions for you. How long have you been working as
Now, I started in August of 2021.
So, on May 31st, 2023, you were employed at Sadie's? Okay. And you were not there that night?
No.
Did you pick these recording times?
No,
Who picked these recording times?
I assume the police would be.
Well, there are certain recording times that are on these exact USBs that you watched earlier, correct?
Yes.
And so, you did not make the decision when I went to begin the recording times and put them on this USB.
No.
You simply provided them, and I mean law enforcement, with the videos.
My boss did.
Okay, but you're the custodian, you said.
When did I say that?
Well, I thought you testified that you knew how these videos operated, you reviewed them.
I reviewed the footage. I understand that our cameras work and record. I do not have access to give footage away. My boss has to do that.
Okay. But you're employed by your boss,
Yes.
and these videos, you did not manage the editing or the times that were provided.
No.
Any reason for you to dispute the times that you saw in the videos, the operating times that we saw?
No.
And did you recognize any of the people in the video when you watched it?
The two bartenders,
And what were their names?
Chris Lee and Autumn.
Did you recognize anyone else?
No.
What are the operating hours of Sadie's at that time?
Usually it's 10 a.m. to 2 a.m.
And do you normally serve alcohol past 2 a.m.?
No.
Now, I saw there was a sign on the wall that said 51%. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means if a business serves 51% or more alcohol, no guns.
And does Sadie's serve 51% or more alcohol?
Yes.
And that did it on May 31st, 2023?
Yes.
That's what it's just.
Your Honor, just a couple follow-up questions.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Thank you. Ms. Campbell, I neglected to offer a couple of things through you, a couple of photos. May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yes, sir.
I am going to mark these photos as states 5 and 6.
You've already mentioned 5 as
A potential.
a potential, so I think to be clear, do you mind making those 6 and 7?
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
To add label 6, 7. ask you if you recognize states exhibit number 6, please.
Yes.
Fair and accurate copy of what's depicted in this photograph?
Sadie's Bar and Grill.
And I'm gonna ask whether or not you recognize states exhibit number 7.
Yes.
Fair and accurate photo of what is depicted there.
Yes.
Doesn't appear to be altered or any deletions or anything like that. And it's fair to say that state exhibit number 7 is from the interior of Sadie's?
It's in our office.
Okay, very good. Now, at this time, state offers states 6 and 7 are tendered to defense counsel for his inspection.
Your Honor, no objection.
To 6 or 7?
Correct, Your Honor.
6 and 7 are admitted.
Permission to publish, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Campbell, just for record purposes, for the jury, what are we looking at there?
The front of Sadie's.
Okay. During the daytime hours?
Yes.
And state's exhibit number 7 is a photograph from where?
In our office.
And what is your understanding of what we're looking at here?
Bullet holes.
Were they always there, or did they appear
They appeared later, but we're always there.
at or around the time of May the 31st of 2023?
Please say yes or no. Thank you. That's okay.
Pass over, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Coleman, anything else, Mr. Matuska?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Campbell, if I could just clarify these two pictures.
Yes.
This is State's Exhibit 6. This is just outside picture Sadie's, right? Is there anything else about that picture that strikes you as unusual?
No.
You know when this was taken?
No.
Okay. And you don't have any idea what day that was?
No.
You're stating this is where?
In our office.
Okay. If you could clarify more about when these holes appeared and when you noticed them?
The next morning after the incident, when the police showed up.
Okay. But as far as you know, 2 holes appeared. You don't know what caused these 2 holes?
Yes.
Do you have any training and experience in ballistics? Do you know how the size these holes are?
No.
As far as you know, anything could have caused these 2 holes?
Yes.
Okay. Fast question.
I have no further questions for Ms. Campbell. May she be excused, Judge?
Any objection to her being excused?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. You're excused, and keep in mind those instructions that you were previously given. Mr. Coleman, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, State calls Officer Cade Carr.
And Officer Carr was previously sworn. Mr. Coleman, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Officer Carr. Would you please state your full name for the record?
Cade Carr.
And Officer Carr, how are you employed, sir?
I'm employed as a police officer with the Port Arthur Police Department.
And how long have you been with PAPD?
7 years.
And your training and background, you're a certified police officer, correct?
Yes, sir.
And back on May the 31st of 2023, were you on duty?
Yes, sir.
Were you working alone or with a partner?
With a partner,
And that partner would be who?
Officer Garnica.
Christopher Garnica?
Yes, sir.
And were the two of you in uniform
Yes, sir.
and in a marked patrol unit
Yes, sir.
at around, in the early morning hours, maybe around 2 a.m., did the two of you receive a dispatch?
Yes, sir.
And what was the nature of that dispatch?
It was in reference to a deadly conduct.
For the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, deadly conduct meaning, in layman's terms, what does that mean?
Someone was shot, the vehicle was shot.
And the location, was that given?
6610 Gulfway Drive at Sadie's Bar and Grill.
In Port Arthur, Texas, and Jefferson County, Texas?
Yes, sir.
I saw that you were referring to a document. What is that document?
On my report,
And have you responded to few or many calls or dispatches between May 31st of 2023 and today's date?
yes, sir.
Many?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember each and every detail about each and every call?
No, sir.
Does it help to refresh your recollection by reviewing your report?
Yes, sir.
So by all means, if need be, feel free to review your report. When you got to Sadie's Bar and Grill, please tell the jury what you observed.
I observed that there was a black Ford F-150 that had a bullet hole in the driver's side window.
Did you make contact, you or your partner, Garnica, make contact with anybody there?
I did.
Okay. And did you talk to, or at least attempt to talk to that individual?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is responding to deadly conduct calls or investigating a deadly conduct, is that a lawful discharge of yours and Officer Garnica's official duties?
Yes, sir.
And before we get to what happened next, let's orient the jury as to the location or the area, the surrounding area. Now approach the witness, Judge.
You may.
Officer Carr, I am marking this document as State's Exhibit number 8. Now I ask whether or not you're familiar with this document.
Yes, sir.
It's fair to say this is a Google Map representation of the area.
Yes, sir.
This Google Map representation, is it, as far as you know, an accurate representation?
Yes, sir.
Would it assist the jury in understanding your testimony if you and I were able to utilize this particular map?
Yes, sir.
At this time, State Officer State's number 8, and for the record, I'm tenured to defense counsel.
No objection, Your Honor.
States 8 is admitted.
Commissioner Post, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Officer Carr. Do my best to kind of maybe zoom in here. You got a screen in front of you, and also there's a screen behind you. I think there may be like a pointer behind, in your immediate area, in your immediate reach. In fact, Judge, maybe witness step down and maybe use the pointer and the map behind you.
He can, or he can use the, we've got the laser.
Either one. Could you please show the jury where Sadie's Bar and Grill will be located in this map? And the roadway that it's located on, what's it called?
Gulfway.
Gulfway. That's kind of highlighted with the blue, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you go up Gulfway, would that be going south on Gulfway?
That is like this direction?
Yeah,
That is east.
east. If you go east on Gulfway, is there an ability to make a U-turn?
Yes, sir.
Could you highlight that U-turn for the jury? Okay. And then if you make that U-turn, you're coming back now west,
Yes, sir.
going back towards Sadie's, right?
Yes, sir.
And at a certain point, is there like a direct line of sight between when you're coming back west?
Probably about right in here.
Okay. All right. Just for informational purposes, what's that other roadway that's right?
This one?
Yeah.
73, Highway 73.
Okay. All right. Very good. So you're standing in the parking lot, you and your partner, Christopher Garnica, you're starting to investigate the deadly conduct or shots fired And what, if anything, did you hear or observe?
I heard one single gunshot coming from the east. And then as I looked that direction, I observed a small car traveling westbound on the westbound lanes of Gulfway. And out of the driver window, I observed a small firearm firing several shots in my direction.
And what, if anything, and when you say fire shots, I mean, you and your law enforcement experience, you're familiar with what gunfire or gunshots sound like, right?
Yes, sir.
And having or hearing gunshots be fired, well, let me ask you this, did you form an opinion as to whether or not those gunshots were fired in your direction?
Yes.
In the direction of you and or Christopher Garnett?
Yes.
What was the opinion that you formed?
We were being shot at because I felt one buzz by my right ear.
And it goes without saying that that would make you feel threatened?
Yes, sir.
And what did you and Officer Barnico do next?
We then got into my patrol car.
Okay, and you say my, meaning you were driving, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then what did you do?
We then turned around and basically attempted to parallel the vehicle on the opposite side of the road.
Show the jury, pointing to state's exhibit number 8, what do you mean by parallel?
We left the parking lot and the vehicle was on this side of the road traveling this direction.
Yeah.
And we left the parking lot and traveled the same direction on the opposite side of the road.
So in other words, rather than going up, making the U-turn and coming back around, you essentially went against traffic, right?
Yes, sir.
Did that assist you in catching up with that vehicle a lot
Yes, sir.
faster, in your opinion?
Yes, sir.
Any other vehicles on the roadway that night?
No, sir.
When you caught up to that vehicle, what, if anything, did you do next?
I conducted a traffic stop.
Just any old traffic stop?
Felony traffic stop.
For the jury, explain what you mean by felony traffic stop.
We get out of the vehicle, don't approach, draw our weapons, and command the occupants out towards us.
Did backup arrive?
Yes, sir.
And once backup arrived, you got the occupants out of the vehicle. How many occupants are we talking about?
2.
And the passenger of that vehicle, was he identified?
Yes.
Who was he identified to be?
Michael Brasher.
Do you see the individual in the courtroom here today that was identified in the early morning hours of May the 31st of 2023 pursuant to your traffic stop and identified as Michael Brasher?
Yes, sir.
Would you please point to him and identify him by an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Gray long sleeve shirt.
Your Honor, I ask the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
In addition to identifying the passenger, was the driver identified?
Yes, sir.
And who was the driver identified to be?
Raymond Adame.
And your patrol car, well, before we get to your patrol car, how would you characterize the defendant's, Michael Brasher's, demeanor?
I'm really not sure. He was put in someone else's unit.
Correct. Let's talk about your patrol car. Was it equipped with recording equipment?
Yes, sir.
And that recording equipment, back on May the 31st of 2023, was it properly operating?
Yes, sir.
You, as the operator of that patrol car, you certainly were capable of properly operating the recording equipment.
Yes, sir.
And did it capture the encounter between you and the suspect vehicle and the takedown of this defendant?
Yes, sir.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Officer Carr, I'm going to show you what I am marking as states. exhibit number 9. But before I mark it, there's a post-it note on there. And I'll ask you if you recognize the markings on that post-it note.
Yes, sir.
What are they?
My initials and today's date,
Indicating what?
that I reviewed that video today and put that on there.
And is this a fair and accurate copy of your patrol car video from that day? No alterations and no deletions?
Yes, sir.
All right, this time state officer states 9. For the record, it's been previously provided to defense counsel in discovery, and I'm tendering to defense counsel for the inspection.
No objection, Your Honor.
States 9 is admitted.
Permission to publish, Judge.
Sure.
Judge, I just want to make sure that we're clear. There have been certain redactions that have been made for purposes of trial, which I've previously discussed with Mr. Mitchell.
Yes, Your Honor. I only asked Mr. Coleman about edits. I didn't ask about what he already provided.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
There were redactions made to his body worn cam. No redactions made to the patrol car video.
Okay.
Just so it's clear. I'm
Thank you.
trying to keep it straight, Judge.
Thank you.
I can have a moment, just a minute, Judge.
Sure.
Make sure I get this right. I don't want to put the wrong video. What perspective are we looking at here, Officer Clark?
I'm driving to Sadie's at the moment.
We're looking out through the windshield, right?
Yes, sir.
Admittedly, Officer Carr, it's not like the best lighting situation there in that parking lot, correct?
Yes, sir.
However, there is lights, right?
Yes, sir.
Lights on that sign,
Yes, sir.
lights elsewhere on the building.
Yes, sir.
Your patrol car, are the markings on it reflected?
Yes, sir.
And any reason to believe, in fact, I would imagine it's on video. Any reason to believe you didn't have your headlights on?
No, sir.
485 to 487. I'm standing by the window for now. Let me know when you make contact. Railway security, Railway security, I need more units for Sadie.
Officer Carr, I'm gonna run it back for record purposes to about 3 minutes and 44 seconds. And I'm gonna ask you to direct your attention to what, if anything, comes out of that video.
Open your fucking head!
What are we looking at here?
That's the firearm coming out of the passenger window.
Open your fucking head! Let me see your fucking head! Take him out! How many people are in the car? Passenger, let me see your head!
Officer Carr, you guys essentially wait to back up the showing, right?
Yes, sir.
Judge,
Location.
I'm gonna fast forward to the next relevant portion.
Thank you.
Drop the keys out the window! Hands up, back up! Get off the ground and back up! Stand up, motherfucker! Back up! Backward! Right here. Come on. Keep walking. Keep coming. Get on your knees. Keep them hands out the window, passenger. Hands up. Hands up. Hold up there. I'll just bring it off from the bar. That's all I'm doing. I'll talk about Hands up! Go back to the door. Hey, forward! Walk back! Fucking Zeus. Walk back! Keep walking! Fucking Zeus. Stop balancing. Keep going! Step over on the road! Why don't you get off the road? I got you. How do you do? Everybody all right?
And the defendant was transported, I think we previously testified, transported by another officer.
Yes, sir.
In addition to being equipped with patrol car video, did you personally have a recording device on you?
Yes, sir.
It's commonly referred to as a body-worn camera?
Yes, sir.
And your body-worn camera, was it properly functioning that day?
Yes, sir.
Did it capture the interaction between you and this defendant, this whole incident?
Yes, sir.
I approach Judge.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to mark this USB drive as State's Exhibit number 10. But before I do that, I want to remove the post-it note at the end containing your initials and today's date, right? When you watched it earlier, but for the redactions that we made that were necessary for this trial, was it a fair and accurate copy of your interaction, that video from that day?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd offer States 10 with the redactions that were previously agreed upon by the state and the defense counsel.
No objection, Your Honor.
States 10 is admitted.
Permission to close, Judge.
Yes, sir.
That's weird. That's weird. It didn't hit nothing else but the window? There used to be a cop car. Really? How are you, bro? Pretty young. Why have you ever seen before 1949? Not familiar. I was. Probably, yeah. The agent sure shot. They said they had some holes in that wall, too, so I don't know. You used to work at the gym for a long time, Bob? Yeah. He's shooting us on the highway. Hurry up, let's go. He's west on Gulf Point. Low money, hurry. Security, more units will take. Hurry, draw stop on Main. One of the plate. Hey, let me see your fucking hands! Let me see your fucking hands! Take them out!
Recording. Mounted. Wi-Fi connected.
How many people are in the car? complainant, and he drove down the highway. We thought it sounded something like one, so I couldn't tell what it was. I didn't see any cars.
Love McCall.
Photograph of her here.
Yeah, and he's getting, you want McCall to double check and search this?
At a certain point, after the two suspects were in custody, what, did the focus of the officers on the scene switch or change to something else?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
Looking for the gun.
Yeah, if you could double check him.
Okay.
And
Oh, right there.
oh, here it is. Here it is.
I got.
For the record, we're about 12 minutes and 3 seconds into the video. What, if anything, just happened, Officer Carter?
Officer Fair just located the gun.
Okay. And was it in that area, the same area, general area where your patrol car video showed that it was, an object came out of the
Yes, sir.
vehicle? And based on your observations and your review of the video evidence in this case, did you form an opinion as to whether or not the defendant discharged a firearm at you and or your partner, Christopher Garnica?
Yes,
And what was that opinion?
that he shot at us.
And a firearm is considered to be a deadly weapon, correct?
Yes,
And did you prepare a report at or near the time when these facts, these events were still fresh in your memory?
yes, sir.
And did I think you mentioned earlier that you reviewed it prior or during your testimony here today.
Yes,
Did you have any other involvement in this case?
I transported them both to the station.
Other than that, anything
Yes,
else?
sir.
Your Honor, this time, I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Mr. Coleman. Mr. Matuska?
Yes, Your Honor, if they could put that exhibit back up there, I don't want to mess up the computer.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
Afternoon, officer. Officer, when we ended here, you were talking to a bunch of officers out there, right?
Yes, sir.
That was when you were looking for the weapon?
Sorry?
That was when you were looking for the weapon?
Yes, sir.
You said firearm?
Yes,
Do you recall, at about 13 minutes, the officer approaching you, right here, and, asking you, if the driver was a shooter? You recall that?
No, I do not.
Okay, and you recall at 13:04 you stating, yes, it was a driver?
I do not recall, but.
I'll play it.
Okay, coming. He's taking the 73 Port Arthur exit. Yeah, on the Gulf Way.
Was it the driver shooting?
Yes, it was a driver.
All right, so
Yes,
Refresh your memory a little bit?
yes.
Okay. You arrived at Sadie's, you said, to investigate. Could you tell me a little bit about initially what you did?
First when I got there, I began speaking with the complainant, Roberto Hughes.
Was that his truck,
Yes, sir.
that black one we saw?
Yes,
Was that an F-150?
Yes, sir.
And is that the vehicle we saw with the hole in the window
Yes, sir.
you were talking about? Did you look inside that vehicle?
I don't believe so.
You could see some light from in the vehicle, right?
Yes, sir.
And all you did was kind of look through the window. Sound about right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't see any guns in there?
No, sir.
You see machine guns in there?
No, sir.
You see bags of guns in there?
No, sir.
Okay, I didn't see that in your report. Now, it was dark outside, is that fair?
Yes, sir.
I noticed you did not have your police lights on in the parking lot of Sadie.
No, sir.
That's because you didn't feel there was a threat at the moment?
Normally for something like that, we turn our lights off and go as dark as possible. But I believe in the camera, you can see me turn them off, and then I turn them back on just out of habit.
Okay. So you kept your headlights on, but you took off your whoop-de-whoops?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You initially met with Mr. Hughes. Did you meet with anyone else?
No, sir.
Now, I heard you say that a bullet you felt you heard whiz by.
Yes, sir.
I don't see in your report that you saw it hit anything.
No, sir.
You didn't see it hit anything.
No, sir.
Okay, you're not sure where that bullet went
No, sir.
or exactly where it was.
No, sir.
So you're just telling us what you heard.
Yes, sir.
That pursuit, if I could move on to that, you guys heard those sounds, pop, 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 3,
3 or 4, yes, sir.
and you ran to your unit.
Yes, sir.
At that point, did you radio for assistance?
Yes, sir.
And then we saw you turn out of the feeder road. Is that the feeder road?
That's Gulfway Drive. That's,
It's a mess of road right
yes, sir.
there.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
You want the map? Okay, I'm gonna help. Could you tell me kind of what that road was?
It's a state highway.
Where you were on?
Yes, sir.
The feeder or the highway?
That's actual Gulfway Drive. That's not the feeder road yet.
So if you could explain to us, what is the road to your right where we eventually saw the car you pulled over?
Sorry, could you tell me where?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
If you could explain to the jury the 2 roads, or if there's one road, it appeared as though there was a median between you
Yes, sir.
and another road with the car you pulled over
Yes, sir.
before the light.
Yes, sir. It was,
Okay, those are the same road?
yes, sir.
All right, and that's Gulfway.
Yes, sir.
That looked like you were driving for at least a mile. Would you approximate how far that was to the red light?
I'd say it's close to a mile.
And it looked like you were driving pretty fast,
Yes, sir.
and that was so you could speed up and catch him.
Yes, sir.
You caught him at the light.
Yes, sir.
He wasn't pulled over anywhere. I mean, he was still driving.
Yes, sir.
When you got to that light, he was actually, we could kind of see, he was driving still through, and you, if you wanted to, you could have crashed right into him sideways, right? At any point, you didn't see that car stop.
No, sir.
It took all you could to get to him.
Yes, sir.
When you radioed ahead, you also kind of instructed officers to block off that road ahead where the car was stopped.
Yes.
So we didn't see any traffic coming where you guys ran.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And why was that?
So someone didn't get shot in crossfire if there was a shooting.
Or officers even?
You know, get run over.
When you drew your firearms on the passengers, they both exited.
Yes, sir.
We kind of saw bits and pieces, but similar fashions,
Yes, sir.
both backwards,
Yes, sir.
hands up, knelt down.
Yes, sir.
One thing you noted in your report, though, was that the driver was talking and began saying, "Don't shoot." He also says that he did not have a gun anymore, correct? And that was Mr., you said Raymond Adam E. Dahme?
Yes, sir.
It's like an Adam with an E in it. And both of those, the driver and the passenger, both those individuals were detained in handcuffs immediately.
Yes, sir.
You stated earlier something, they were not placed in the same vehicle.
No, sir.
Could you tell me which vehicles each man was placed in?
Adame was placed in my vehicle, and he was placed in another vehicle. I'm not positive whose.
But one of the officers close.
Yes, sir.
Did you search the vehicle?
No, sir.
What kind of vehicle was that, a Focus?
It was a 2010 Nissan Sentra.
Sentra. Okay. Small vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Did you locate any firearms in it?
No, sir.
The only firearm you found was the one you pointed out earlier on the road.
Yes, sir.
And what about shell casings in the vehicle?
No, sir.
Didn't find any. Did you find any shell casings on the roadway?
No, sir.
Was there a noticeable difference in the size of the two men?
Yes, sir.
The driver was much smaller
Yes, sir.
than the passenger. And if I could go back real quick, when you were at that black truck, when you heard that pop, pop, pop that we saw in your video, there was nothing blocking your view, right?
No, sir.
At least over the overpass where you were looking at those sounds.
Yes, sir. Nothing.
Opposite direction of Sadie's. Again, I'm looking at your report, and if I could direct your attention to it. It states that you observed out of the driver's side window 3 or 4 flashes come from a small handgun.
Yes, sir.
And that was sticking out of the driver's side window, correct?
Yes, sir.
Same vehicle, everything we've been talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you recall, as soon as you apprehended these 2 men, approaching the back seat of your vehicle where the driver was detained? You recall doing that?
Yes, sir. I watched the video.
Okay. And you just briefly went up to him and yelled something, right? Or you asked him a question?
Yes, sir.
To be fair. And that question, you recall what it was?
We've asked him where the gun was.
Where'd you throw the gun, right? And I didn't hear what he said, but I heard what you said.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't a good word, was it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You were a little frustrated, right?
Yes, sir. Very.
Okay, now pass the witness.
Thank you, Mr. Matuska. Mr. Coleman?
Officer Carr, I'd like to direct your attention to what we previously admitted into evidence. As states exhibit number 3, it's some surveillance video from the Sadie's Bar and Grill. For the record, we will be at about 19 minutes and 22 seconds into this surveillance video. I'm going to ask you to direct your attention to the upper, maybe right-hand part of this video, and tell me what, if anything, you see at about that 19:22 mark. Here, I'll kind of highlight it. It's hard to see. Just right here, I run it back to about 1922 as that vehicle comes into frame. be able to see it?
Yes, sir.
What, in your opinion, in your law enforcement opinion, what is depicted there in that video?
It appears to be 2 flashes from a firearm.
The timestamps, date timestamp on the video, May the 31st of 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
At about 2:09 a.m., correct?
Yes, sir.
What I'd like to do is fast forward now to about 32 minutes and 10 seconds into the video. And ask you what, if anything, you see kind of off in the distance, maybe in this area. Would have been right here.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of hard to see. I'll run it back. Were you able to see it?
Yes, sir.
What, if anything, was that?
It appeared to be 2 flashes from a firearm as well.
Okay. Is it fair to say this time further away?
Yes, sir.
Those individuals running on that camera, who were they?
Myself and Officer Gardino.
And the date and time stamp, May the 31st, 2023, this time at a little later time, 2:22 a.m., correct?
Yes, sir.
But nevertheless, is it fair to say muzzle flashes could be seen coming from that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
In your experience and in your common sense, is there anything that would prevent someone who's in the passenger side from leaning over the driver and shooting out of the driver's side window?
No, sir.
If you formed an initial opinion at the scene, at the time, that under those circumstances, perhaps the driver had fired those shots, could it have been the wrong initial impression?
Yes, sir.
That's the
Anything else, Mr. Matuska?
Just a couple brief questions, Your Honor. Officer, you testified earlier that your memory was fresh immediately after, right? Is that normal?
Yes, sir.
And in regards to the time that you were, well, it's not up anymore, but with the time that you were at the bar, could you tell me what time you arrived?
I don't believe I have that time on here.
We saw earlier, you walked up and inspect that vehicle, and it didn't seem like it took very long for you guys to hear those sounds that run. Under 5 minutes, you think?
Yes, sir.
So, this first video, you weren't even there, we looked at.
No, sir.
You have no personal knowledge of that.
No, sir.
Okay, but the second one you do.
Yes, sir.
And in your training and experience, if we're trying to interpret what would be a muzzle flash, would there be a difference in a round one versus a long one?
What do you mean?
Well, if there was a long one versus a round one, what would that tell you?
I'm not sure.
Not sure? That possibly you're not sure the direction of the firearm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that could create what, a longer flash or a shorter flash?
I'm not sure.
If a gun was pointed in your direction, would you expect that to be long or short?
objection. He's testified that he's not sure.
Why change your question, Judge?
Overruled. Go ahead and if you know.
If the gun was pointed in the direction, would you expect that to be a round flash or a long?
I believe it would be round.
Okay, that's what.
No further questions for Officer Carter.
All right. Any objection to Officer Carr being excused?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You're excused and you understand you're under the rule as well. All right. It's about 3 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take kind of a mid-afternoon break. We'll try to get started at 3:15. Please keep in mind all of those instructions that you were previously given. If everyone else would please remain seated in the courtroom.
Officer Garnica, could you please state your full name for the record?
Christopher Garnica.
And Officer Garnica, if I can get you to speak up, maybe lean into that microphone a little if you can, because it's not too uncomfortable.
Okay.
I want to make sure the jury can hear you.
Okay.
How are you employed, officer?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
How are you employed?
Employed?
Yes, sir. Where do you work?
Oh, it's City Park, I'm sorry.
Port Arthur PD?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been an officer with Port Arthur Police Department?
That's my third year.
And you're a certified peace officer, correct?
Yes.
And were you working as a peace officer for Port Arthur PD back on May the 31st of 2023?
Yes.
Were you working alone or with a partner?
I was working with a partner,
And that partner being
Officer Carr.
Cade Carr?
Yes, sir.
And the two of you, were you in uniform?
Yes, sir.
And were you riding in a marked patrol unit?
Yes, sir.
And in the early morning hours, around 2 a.m., were you called out or dispatched to the Sadie's Bar and Grill?
Yes, sir, we're dispatched.
Okay, and Sadie's is located at 6610 Gulfway Drive,
Yes, sir.
Port Arthur, Texas,
Yes, sir.
in Jefferson County, Texas.
Yes, sir.
And is a response or responding to such calls considered a lawful exercise or discharge of your official duties?
Yes, sir.
And when you arrived there at Sadie's, what, if anything, did you do or observe?
I spoke with a witness who saw the incident take place, and I observed a truck that appeared to have a bullet holes in the truck.
And while you were speaking with this person, and while you were observing what you believe to be bullet holes in that pickup truck, what, if anything, happened?
We're there talking to witnesses. Moments later, we saw a car going westbound on Gulfway. That's when one of the witnesses said, that's them right there. And then next thing you know, we hear a series of gunshots in our direction.
And what made you form the opinion that it was in your direction?
I could feel one of them by my right ear.
And are you, as a law enforcement officer, familiar, I mean, you go to the range and you fire firearms as part of your ongoing training as an officer, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the distinct sound of gunfire?
Yes.
And that to you sounded like gunfire?
Yes.
What did you and Officer Carr do next?
We notified dispatch by the radio that we've been shot at, and then we got on a patrol unit and followed the vehicle.
May sound like a stupid question, but I've got to check some boxes here. Did being fired upon under those circumstances make you feel threatened?
Yes, sir, it did.
Threatened that what may happen? What may happen?
That I was gonna die.
Or possibly be injured?
Yes.
And did you and Officer Carr chase or follow or go after that vehicle?
Yes, sir, we followed the vehicle.
Who was driving?
Officer Carr.
And did you make or conduct a stop on that vehicle?
Yes, sir, eventually we did.
And the passenger of that vehicle, was the passenger of that vehicle identified?
Yes, sir.
Who was he identified to be?
Michael Brescher.
And do you see the person identified back on May the 31st of 2023 as Michael Brescher here in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
Could you please point to him and identify him by the article of clothing he's wearing?
He's right there, my white, bald, the gray long sleeve.
Just to be clear, was he identified as Michael Keith Brescher Jr.?
I'm gonna look at this real quick.
Please, what document are you referring to?
The offense report.
And does it help to refresh your recollection by reviewing your offense report?
Yes, sir.
Have you made few or many or responded to few or many calls since May of 2023?
It's been many calls since then, yes, sir.
And you don't remember each and every detail about each and every call, do you?
Yes, sir.
You don't remember every little detail about it?
Oh, no, I don't, I'm sorry.
And it helps you to refresh your recollection by reviewing your report? Right?
Yes, sir, it does.
By all means, please.
Yeah, it says Michael Keith Brescher.
Your Honor, I asked that the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
And the driver of the vehicle, was he identified?
Yes, sir.
Who was he identified to be?
As Raymond Adame.
And you, that day, or the early morning hours of that day, were you equipped with any recording device or devices?
Yes, sir, my body cam.
And your body-worn camera, did it capture the interaction between you and the defendant and what transpired on the scene that day?
Yes, sir.
Your body worn camera, as far as you know, was it operating properly?
Yes, sir.
And you, as the operator of the body worn camera, are certainly capable of properly operating it, right?
Yes, sir.
May I approach the witness?
Yes, sir.
Officer Garnick, I'm going to show you what I'm about to mark. It's State's Exhibit number 11. And before I do that, I want to ask whether or not you recognize just what's written on the post-it note.
Yes, sir. It's my handwriting.
And your handwriting and today's date?
Yes, sir.
What does that indicate?
That I reviewed the body cam footage today.
And other than the redactions that were made for court today to this body worn camera, was it a true and accurate copy of the video footage from that day?
Yes, sir.
And, Your Honor, at this time, State's 11 has been previously made available to the defense counsel, and but for the redactions that we've agreed upon, it has not been altered.
State's 11 is admitted.
Permission to publish, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Where are you standing at this point in the video?
Standing in the parking lot, Sadie's.
Let's talk about the lighting in Sadie's in that parking lot, right? Back it up just a bit. I mean, not the best lighting, but it is nevertheless some lighting there, correct? Is it fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Lighting coming from where?
Looks like the sign and maybe some of the light poles.
Yeah, he was sure shot. One up there on me. They had to hold it to wall too, so I don't know. You swung at the door for a long time, boss? Copy plate. Yep. You get the board? Texas license plate, Sam David David, 1863, Sam David David, 1863. Sam Ford, this is vehicle. like 7 degrees down, we'll see what this is. 7 degrees down, we'll see what's here. Let me see your fucking hands! Got that on me. Let me see your fucking hands! Take them out! How many people are in the car? Passion, let me see your hands! I don't worry, we need it. I got hands.
Ultimately, backup arrives and you get the passengers or occupants of the vehicle out, correct?
Yes, sir.
Secured, I'll say nothing else.
Gotcha.
What the fuck? Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up! Stop pulling. All right? Nobody in? Right out. Anybody discharged?
I got it. Get in.
At some point, the focus turns towards searching for that firearm, right?
Yes, sir.
That was fucking, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
And adrenaline dump's going away. Getting cold, huh?
Man, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that.
Take a picture from afar and then come up to it. No, I mean, just, yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought you were going all the way back there.
I mean, this is a shitty camera, but I mean, I'm
Yeah,
trying
just
my
try to
best.
let me know if the light drowns it out or not.
And what are you photographing at this point?
The firearm?
That was found by the side of the road?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you what I've just marked as state exhibits, number 12 and 13. I ask that you take a moment to look at those and please let me know if you recognize those.
Yes, sir, I do.
What do you recognize those to be?
The firearm?
That you photographed that day that's depicted in that video?
Yes, sir.
Do these photographs seem to be true and accurate photographs or representations of that photograph that you took that day? No alteration, no deletions?
Yes, sir.
Now, at this time, State Officer States 12 and 13, for the record, I'm tenured to defense counsel for the inspection.
No objection, Your Honor.
States 12 and 13 are admitted.
Commissioner Publisher.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's start with this one. State's exhibit number 12. It's kind of hard to see, but and there's a screen behind you if you want to point to it. But what are we looking at here? if anything, was remarkable about that firearm? I guess to be more specific, in your training experience, had an item or this firearm been there for a while? What, if any, qualities or characteristics, I should say, would be evident on that firearm?
You're asking if it's been there for a long time?
What in your training experience, what would you notice? What would you see from something that's been there for a while?
Rust, coloring fading away.
Dew, perhaps, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Were any of those things, characteristics, observed with this firearm?
No, sir.
And State's Exhibit number 13, that's just a close-up, a better look of the firearm, right?
Yes, sir.
Firearm, was it found not far from where the vehicle came to a stop?
Yes, sir, it's pretty close.
That firearm, was it taken into evidence there on the scene in your presence?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to figure out how I think I know what I'm doing. I really need a tag. Here's what I'll figure it out. I have here in my hand a firearm that has been previously cleared by the bailiff. May I approach the witness, Judge?
You may.
Officer Garnica, I'm showing you what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 14. Does this appear to be the same firearm that's depicted in State's Exhibit number 13 that was found on the side of the road that day?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any reason to believe that this is not the firearm that was found on the side of the road, photographed by you, and taken into evidence in your presence?
No, sir, I don't.
Your Honor, at this time, State offers State's Exhibit number 14, and I tender to Defense Counsel for his inspection.
Objection, chain of custody, a foundation, Your Honor.
He's taken into custody in his presence, Judge. If not by him, by Officer Fair, who is right there with you, correct?
Yes, sir.
He witnessed it being taken into custody. If you didn't take it into custody, which?
It was Officer Raquel and Officer Fair that took it in custody. I just took pictures and observed it.
Okay.
Yes.
He was there when it was taken into custody, Judge, and we've got the end of the chain here with our investigator, who ultimately took custody of it from office. So we've got the beginning of the chain and the end of the
Well, we
chain.
don't have the end in, the end is not in evidence.
Put my investigator on the stand. I mean,
I don't, I tend to think there needs to be a little bit more from someone that identified it, making sure that that's, the investigator, when he received it, something else. Just, obviously, the law doesn't provide that you have to have the whole chain of custody on anything, but I'm going to sustain that objection at this time.
Officer Garnica, do you have the serial number or any identifying information on the firearm in your report?
Yes, sir, I do.
What is the serial number on the firearm, sir?
Serial number is ACH 205371.
And I'm handing you, for the record, State's Exhibit number 14. What is the serial number reflected on State's Exhibit number 14?
ACH 205371.
In other words, it matches the serial number that you documented in your report for the firearm that was taken into custody that day on May 31st of 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Coleman, are you re-offering it?
Ma'am,
Are you re-offering it at this time?
I was trying to figure out if I need to call my investigator, Judge.
Well, I
Sounds
think-
like I may have to.
Well, I mean, you haven't heard that from me. Are you re-offering it?
I'd re-offer state's 14, Judge.
Is there an objection?
Yeah, I understand objection to change.
That objection's overruled. I think the fact that he took the serial number down that night and that matches the serial number on the firearm that's here in the courtroom today satisfies the foundation, and so state's 14 is admitted.
Permission to publish to the jury, Judge?
Sure.
Officer Garnica, a firearm is certainly considered to be a deadly weapon, capable of causing serious bodily injury or death, correct?
Yes,
Did you prepare a report? You obviously prepared a report, you testified about reviewing it. Did you do that when the events were still fresh on your mind?
yes, sir.
And did you have any other involvement in this case?
The driver, I took him to the police station where he was questioned by detectives, and when they were done, I took him to Judge County Jail, and that was the end of my part.
I'll pass with you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Matuska?
Just a few questions, Your Honor. Good afternoon, officer.
I just,
Officer, just that last point you made, I have a question about that. So you drove the driver, who was Raymond Adams, to the jail
yes,
that
sir.
night?
Yes, sir.
You didn't release him, you drove him to the jail?
Transported and released him to the Judge County Jail.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Now, I have a question about the time you arrived at Sadie's. Do you recall what time that was?
According to my report, it's 3:56 hours.
That's why I'm asking you that. 3:56, are you sure that was the time?
I put at approximately 3:56 hours.
But if I told you it might have been closer to 2:30, would that sound about right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I just want you to be sure, you're the one telling me, I wanna make sure we're talking about the same time here.
Okay.
Okay. But you think it was 3:56?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna stick with 3:56 hours.
Okay. Officer Carr was with you though?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about, when you arrived, you did not turn on your light bar, correct?
Officer Carr was the driver. I was the passenger.
Okay, but you did not turn on your light bar, your overhead light bar, colored bar.
I don't remember.
Okay, that's fair. But a video showed that that was not flashing. You wouldn't have no dispute with that, right?
I reviewed my body cam footage. I don't think it caught the vehicle, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Now, when you started your pursuit, you did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you recall the weather that night? Was it damp?
I believe it was dark, clear.
If we have some video, of maybe the roof dripping, was it raining or anything? You don't recall rain, do you?
I don't recall.
Okay, light rain, or was it dry?
I believe it was dry.
Okay. After you took the driver to the jail, did your investigation conclude at that point?
Afterwards, I did my report, and then, yes, sir, concluded.
Okay. And you put this gun in a bag, right, and sealed it up? Is that what you testified to?
I testified taking pictures.
Okay.
I don't recall putting it in the bag.
Okay, do you know who collected the gun?
I believe it was Officer Fair.
And you don't know anything more about where the gun went?
No, sir.
Okay. That's what.
All right, thank you. Mr. Coleman?
Yes, Judge. Officer Garnica, if Officer K. Carr put in his report that the two of you were dispatched at 2:16, and if the surveillance video from Sadie's Bar and Restaurant shows a time frame of around 2:22 that the two of you were there, is it possible that you made a clerical error in listing 3:56 as the time that you were dispatched?
Yes, sir. I do.
Would it be the first time that you've made an error in a report?
No, it won't be the first or the last. No.
All right, thank you. Pass the vote.
Anything else, Mr. Matuska?
Just one more, Your Honor. Officer, in addition to that question I asked you earlier about your light bar being on, there was no other police cars in that parking lot when you heard those sounds with light bars on, right?
No, sir, just me and Officer Casey.
Your headlights were on, right?
Yes, sir, they were on.
But not that overhead red and blue one.
I don't recall.
No other police vehicles?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. That's what.
I have no further questions for Officer Garnica, Your Honor.
Any objection to Officer Garnica being excused?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You're excused, and keep in mind the rule that you were placed under earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's let the jury get out for a second. All right, let the record reflect the jury is outside the presence of the courtroom. Mr. Adame, if you don't mind, you can just step outside the courtroom. We're trying to get Mr. Kimmler here for your testimony, and so we're going to see where he is, but you can just wait right outside the courtroom, please, sir. Don't go anywhere. Have y'all received a response?
I haven't got a response, Judge. I did. I sent him a text on both the numbers I have for
Okay.
him. No response.
I feel like I wish I had known this because I could have had the clerks get with him and had him be here. So let me go see if we can get in touch with them.
Sorry, Judge, I made a game time decision because I thought I had another witness before this witness, but
Okay.
things have to try.
All right, let's see what we can find out quickly. If y'all get a message back, let me know. I've sent the girls a message to see if they can also get in touch with them. And obviously, if we can't, we'll have to make sure he's here and start back in the morning, but we'll take a short break. Okay, let the record reflect state's attorneys present, defendant and defense counsel are present. We have not been able to get in touch with Mr. Adame's attorney. And so I'm going to bring the jury in and then excuse them, give them their instructions for the night. And then we'll leave a message for Mr. Kimmler to make sure he's here hopefully first thing in the morning. If for some reason he's not, if you can have somebody else ready to go, if we're having an issue with him so that we don't have to wait, that would be great. So we'll see. You can bring the jury in. Yep. All right, let the record reflect that the jury is seated, state's attorneys present, defendant and defense counsel are present. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we have not been able to get in touch with the attorney that needs to be here for this testimony. And so what we're going to do is take a break, go ahead and stop early for the afternoon and get started again tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. We'll get in touch with him. Hopefully he'll be here. We can get going on that. If not, potentially another witness, but we'll try to get going at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Please keep in mind all of the instructions that you were previously given. And if you can get here just a little before 9, we'll try to get started at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Y'all have a great evening. If everyone else will please remain seated, you're excused until tomorrow morning. You are welcome to leave your notes. We don't have any other things going on in here. The courtroom will be locked, so you can just put them on your chair. That way you don't forget them tomorrow. Can you get Mr. Adamian, please? Mr. Adamian, you can just stop right there. You're fine. I just want to make sure we are going to go ahead and take a break because we can't get Mr. Kimler here right now. We're trying to get in touch with him to be here first thing tomorrow morning. So you're under subpoena. You're required to be back here tomorrow morning. If you would please be here no later than 8:45.
Can I stay at a motel around here, or we'll work it out?
Yes, the district attorney's office will help you find something since you're in from out of town. So yeah, we'll get with the investigator today when you leave. If you need transportation, I'm sure they'll help out with that as well. It's very important that you are back here on time tomorrow. Again, they'll help you out with that. If you're not, or you don't make yourself available, then we could send somebody to find you and you could be held in contempt and all kinds of icky things, okay? 8:30, 8:45 is fine, okay? And so if you'll just step right outside, they'll come out and visit with you about what they can do for you this afternoon. All right, so other than the video you guys have for me to watch, and that is the video of Officer Hayes?
Bray. B-R-A-Y. He's transporting a defendant.
Okay.
There's 2 separate videos. If I'm not mistaken, maybe transporting from the scene to PD, and then from the PD to the jail, and just to kind of give the court a flavor of why I think it's probative. He's accused of shooting at police, and in the back of the patrol car video, he's making these just statements like "F the police," using all kind of profanity. It's referencing how police lie. Let's see, he's talking about. Let's see. They take away people's rights.
I'll watch it, yeah, let me just watch it. And then obviously your objection is
Well,
what?
First off, I think there are some potential Miranda issues, the way it went down in order of the detention and the initiation of the questioning, which started this rant, which I think that's what it is. I also think there's some 403 objections based upon he's not talking about what happened that night. He's talking about his general frustrations. I think that's highly prejudicial based upon the content of some of these. But I do want to also, I went back through and I looked at the timestamps. I did want to make the court aware that at 17 minutes, exactly 16:58 was when I said they were initiated. So the court has some roadmap. But they went all the way to an hour and 15 minutes, and it's just random here and there.
So I need to start at 16:58 and watch.
Yeah, and I went all the way to 1:14:58.
Judge, I would suggest watching the entire videos. I mean, I think they're all.
Let's go, give it to me so I can get started. All right, anything else before we take our break for the afternoon?
No, ma'am.
Anything else, Mr. Matuska?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so there's,
Judge, my intention is to withdraw that firearm at the end of the trial from evidence. We've got photos of it, so I don't know if you want to wait till the end of the trial.
that's between you and the court reporter, and I would think we would wait, but whatever you guys want to do. And are these, are they am I gonna hear the same thing?
No, they're separate. For whatever reason, it's weird.
So which one should I watch first, front or back?
It's the front one. Jeez, that's a 2-hour video, Judge. Let's see, the back one.
I heard the same, so I thought the back was more.
The back one is only an
Clear.
hour and 11 minutes. But it's not, I don't think it's the same duplicate. I took notes from both and my notes don't overlap, Judge. I think it's being transported to the jail and then several are being transported to.
So one is to the jail, one is to, I mean, it's not that far to the jail and from the
No,
jail
Your
to
Honor, I went
the,
to the police station, but there was a time when he was just sitting at the scene.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the Port Arthur Police Station.
okay. I guess I'll figure it out. I was trying to say which one, if there's an issue with potential interrogation and Miranda, if there's one that comes before the other, that would be important for me to know to start with, because depending on what I see, I may not need to
Well,
watch.
the Mirandizing occurs at the police station.
So I want to know which one starts first.
The one
What do
that
I need to
says
watch first?
Front, the one that says Brave front,
Uh-huh.
I believe at 12:29 into the video, in my notes indicate there's an exchange between the defendant and the officer about quote unquote the reason for the arrest. And
In the car at the scene?
yes, Judge. And then at 17:06, as Mr. Matusky indicated, my notes indicate there is another exchange between the officer and the defendant. But other than that, it's all just unsolicited, non-question.
All right, I'll take a look at it.
Statements.
All right, we'll be in recess. See you all in the morning.